I'm eating and let the weight just come off on its own because I hate putting in effort.
I
don't care
I
if
meal
it takes
prep
a
now.
long
So
time.
like Monday I'll make 4 meals, and then on Tuesday I'll make another 4 because I have to.
Michael?
No, I
Eating?
stand by my statement.
Okay, I told Mike that I eat the same thing for lunch.
You say you eat 2 things, yeah.
every single day when I'm at work because I make one thing.
Yeah,
for
but I'm
the
trying to
entire
lose
week.
weight. No, I don't want to be eating the same 2 things. That's boring as fuck. You can do whatever you want.
You know you can meal prep different meals, right?
Well, right, but why would I do that when I'm trying to make them mass? It doesn't make any. Why would I want to make one?
He wants it to be consistent.
Yeah, why would I want to meal prep 7 meals on the same day?
Because you
7 different
can
meals.
do that,
That-
and they can all be diet food.
Right? No, I know.
And
But
you
why
can
would I
have
want to
variety.
do that?
Because you can still have one cooking session.
But I would have to
But
make
it's so much more
7
work.
different
I know,
things.
but if you
And then you're only
Okay,
making
so
an
think-
individual serving.
Yeah,
That's
where I can just-
crazy.
yeah.
Who
Think
makes
about-
one serving of
Wait,
something?
Okay, if you think, okay, it doesn't have to be 7 different things. Say it could be 3 and then repeat.
See, that's what I told Mike. I told Mike
Yeah,
that I
like
make 2 different
and
things
then
for
every
dinner.
other,
Right, but mine
like,
is I
and
make
he
4.
thought that
So
was
what's the
insane.
difference?
So instead of like
No, because I think that is
repeating
insane if
but
you can
then
eat
if
whatever.
Okay, but then also it doesn't have to be like vastly different. If you make a pan full of like grilled chicken or like an air fryer, like all grilled air fried chicken, and then you take that
Different things
and
with the chicken.
exactly like that's still meal prepping, but you can make a variety of things that you're still making in one session.
I feel like
but you're getting the variety of what you want.
No,
That seems like much more work, right? Am I wrong?
Well, I'm also.
I'm not saying I would do it. I'm fine with
Yeah,
being a psychopath and eating the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Look, if I
but I'm
didn't-
just saying you can do
But
that.
I wouldn't. That sounds like way more effort than making one batch of 4 things and one batch of 4 things.
I've had the same lunch for 3 weeks in a row now.
Like I can do that.
No, like
that's
sure. Like when
totally
I used to
fine
work at the
me.
dock, I would get a ham and cheese just because I'm like, fuck it, and I just need whatever.
No,
like,
that's
but like,
psychopath behavior.
No, but like-
No,
could
I
not
agree.
do
I
that.
also get a
right.
ham and cheese.
But like, what I mean
I
is like
think
when
it's
you're
just
making,
ham and cheese.
Like I know that.
I've
is
branched out.
psychopath
I've gotten better
behavior.
over the
Like
years.
that-
I've gotten
no.
better over the years.
Can we record so I can go
Yeah.
home and eat my dinner?
Yes.
I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Mike 4.
Oh, welcome to the Vaguely Anime Podcast. I'm with the host this evening, Michael, followed by other host Kat.
Hello.
And other host Sage.
Jesus, hi.
And this is Anime Club.
Woo!
You said you wanted to hurry.
Well, I didn't mean we had to like.
We have to talk fast forward.
Instead
in
of
the
people having to
recording.
put it on 2 times speed,
Yeah.
we're just gonna speak at 2 times speed.
We'll just make this in half an hour,
you
but
have-
still talk an hour of content.
You have to
Yes.
watch it in half speed
Yes.
to
Yeah.
get the regular.
Anyway, welcome to the Anime Club for Fruits Baskets Season 2, which was Kat's pick.
Yeah, 3
So,
years later.
Yes. So,
Yeah, I was like, I listened to the episode for season 1 earlier today because I was like, I don't actually remember like everything that I said, and I want to like
What'd you
refresh
say? Probably
myself
should've did that.
because I didn't watch any recap
Yeah.
for season 1. And I didn't realize it was so long ago. So I was like, how fucking long ago did we do
Literally.
this? Because I thought it was
one
like
of our
last
first
year.
episodes,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
it was 25 technically. but-
Okay.
But it was pretty early on, so I was like, "Why am I scrolling back
I
so
do
far?"
keep meaning to make a playlist that's just our anime clubs.
Yeah. That would be useful.
Yeah.
That would be
Also a
useful.
playlist for each season, but seasons don't really matter,
Yeah.
so that's why I
Yeah.
haven't done that.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
anyway,
Anime Club.
it was
Fruits
Kat's
Basket.
pick. So,
Yeah.
Kat, articulate.
I mean, I'm assuming if you're here to watch our thoughts about season 2, you already know what the show is, but a little basis about it is Toru, the main character. I mean, it's a romance anime, but again, like you're probably not just like jumping into season 2, but it's a romance anime. Technically there's more than 2 suitors, technically, because other people also like her.
I mean, yeah, but like,
But there's only 2
Are
Yeah, I
they
was like,
in the
oh, yeah, like
race?
unlike other shows where it's like, it could potentially be other people. It's never going to
It's
be,
like
but it
having,
could. This one, it does. It
but
feels
then-
like there's 2, and
but-
really, it feels like there's 1.
I'm just saying that there's suitors.
it's like
yeah.
it's like
There's other
betting on a
suitors. I'm not
horse
s-
that's technically at the event but isn't in the race.
I'm not saying that she's interested. I'm just saying
They
that,
exist.
Yeah, like they're there.
I
but-
feel like if anything, season 2 makes it really only like about the 2.
I feel like season 2 solidifies.
Yes, but we can get into that later.
Yeah.
But I would say season 2 definitely makes it about 2, if anything.
Yeah.
But it's just about her. It's continuing her life at like with the Somas and about their curse and
Their shitty lives.
Yeah, and like it just goes kind of deeper. I feel like each episode was kind of more of a deep dive kind of into one character.
I would agree. Not
like,
each one, but there were a lot more.
There were a lot of episodes
focused.
that it was one episode was a character, but not every episode is a character. But a lot of them did have an episode that was about one character specifically. So I would just say it's just like more deep into like the Soma Zodiac lore.
Yeah, you do get quite a few episodes of like flashback one character.
Yeah.
So that's why, and just more trauma.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying like
Trauma dumping season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say season 2 is just trauma dumping.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like you're not just gonna jump to season 2, so it's kind of hard to describe like if you haven't already seen season 1. So you can either go watch that, or you can watch our episode where we talk about season 1 if you don't care about
The quality
spoilers.
is worse, but you know, hey, it exists.
It does exist. Yeah, sure.
Episode 25, if you feel like looking for it.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right.
That's like a
Well,
brief
since it is
synopsis.
season 2, I mean, I know we have covered a season 2 before, but we can keep the general quick.
We'll keep. Yeah, I was gonna say we'll just do
it.
it.
It is a
quick.
season 2, so
Yeah.
broad strokes at the very least. By the way, I don't think I said it. Your hair looks very nice.
Thank you.
So anyway, generally, I mean, I still think visual gags are pretty on point.
Yeah.
I did find myself laughing at many of like the anime reaction faces, and Toru especially, just always either in the background or in the forefront of just like super simple face, and I'm
Yeah.
like every time it would almost
Her
always
little
make me laugh.
onigiri face.
Yeah. So I mean, I still found it like fun, enjoyable. I think the plot progression really kind of like, if there was any question of who you think it was going to be, I feel like season 2 kind of really narrows that to the option.
Yeah. Season 2, I think it just is like, okay, it was a race between X amount of people. Now it's just one.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause one kind of actually 2 back out.
Just fucks off.
When we get to the spoilers, I'm curious who you mean for the second. I literally can't
Okay.
think of the second.
Sure.
Or the third, what I guess in
It's
this
the
option.
third, yeah.
But yeah. So I mean, which I was fine with because it was someone I liked. So and then also you get more Best Boy Haru. So
Yeah.
Best Boy Haru. My cowboy is the best.
Yeah.
There's a space there in that cowboy.
Did
by
I
the way.
say Best Boy Haru for first season?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, I think so too. I think I've had that stance the whole time.
He is the best.
He is the best.
And yeah, I mean, animation's nice. I think the music's pretty good. I did not give a shit about the intro and outro though, like at all.
Yeah, they were really bland.
Either version.
So, like, because you texted me about it, but I think I'd only watched, like, a couple episodes at the point that you texted me, and I was like, yeah, I'll get to it, like, to the rewatch. So I also have different takes on what we, like, texted about, so we'll get into that when we go to spoilers. But for the intro and outro, they're not anything amazing, but, like, I did re-listen to them again. I think they're cute. Like, I think it goes with the show. Like,
Yeah,
and
they
I like
just
the
feel
visuals.
generic.
It's cute. Like I have no quarrels with it. There are some shows that I'm like, this shit's bad. Like my ears, like I need this.
Oh, Chivalry of Failed Knight actively.
Yeah.
I don't
All right,
even remember what the
It was
fuck
a
that
good
was.
OP, but terrible representation of the show.
Yeah.
I guess I wouldn't say that it was bad. I just didn't care about the either
I
songs.
feel like especially the visuals for like the first half of the season were so bland. They were the most generic, like, okay, we have to show like the characters that are going to be important.
Yeah.
Just flash them on screen. And what's weird, because I actually liked the song better for the first one.
Yeah.
And then the second one, I did not like the song, but the visuals were a little bit better. So I
Yeah.
was like, neither one of these is particularly good.
Was
Like,
it the second
nothing-
one where like it would have the people and then it would have the animal that they are behind them, And it was like
I
each
think
person
so.
got like one individual one, and then they got near the end. They were like, "We have to wrap this shit up. Throw 4 people on the screen at the same time."
Yes. Oh shit, we only have a minute and 30 seconds.
It's like everyone gets their own little cool, like, I'm the rabbit, I'm the cat, fuck, dog, horse, seahorse.
Because actually, and I'm not sure that this is true, but I think it is, because when I was trying to estimate the math of like how much time I needed to finish watching, I think that it's a little bit longer. Like, I think the intro and outro are a little bit shorter than other shows.
I would agree.
Because when I was doing the math of like the normal 22 minutes is usually what it is, or sometimes it's 21 minutes. Like, when I was trying to just estimate like based on that, it was not.
I feel like
I was late, and I was just like, why am I not done? I thought I would be done by now, and I
feel
sure
like
wasn't.
the second one is even shorter.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the second OP is only like a minute.
You know what I did realize? This has nothing to do with the show necessarily, but it's something with Crunchyroll that I realized during watching this show, which is that since they've added the skip intro and outro thing,
There's still seconds left.
Yeah, like they still.
It bothers
Yeah,
the
they
shit
haven't
out of me,
nailed
'cause then I
it.
have to go and I have to skip it
because
extra, and I'm like, well, then I could have just sat here and skipped
the
it
skip
manually.
intro is like a default time.
Yeah.
But it'll
It's not
sometimes
right.
still show up in like the preamble
Yeah.
thing. So if you hit it, you'll either skip
you'll
the preamble
miss that, like,
and then you'll-
opening minute.
Yeah, and then you'll just end up like X amount of time into the intro,
Yeah.
or it'll show up late. And so then it's like the intro's already happening, but then it pops up, and now you're like 30 seconds into the show,
Yeah.
and you're like,
Most of the time,
It's obviously not tailored to each show.
which I mean, I kind of get.
I mostly
but-
didn't use it for the intro, and I would just manually do that shit. I mostly just use it for like skip credits.
I feel like sometimes the
nowhere.
skip credits was also wrong.
It
Well,
was.
I
But,
wouldn't know
yeah, but,
because
I mean-
used it, and it was fine. It skipped to the next episode and it worked. So
But anyway, I think it's still enjoyable. I think Toru's best as like comedic existence, but I don't really care about her exact like. She doesn't feel like she necessarily is pushing the plot, but I find her enjoyable enough that I'm like whatever with it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Anyway, that's my general.
So, I don't think I said this for season 1, and I think maybe because in season 1 it was way more, the locations were not as vast, but the outfits for Toru in season 2, they're really cute.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they did a great job, and they did different hairstyles, different color ribbons.
Yeah.
I was really impressed, actually, because, you know, like, especially a show like this, like, the guys usually have like the same rotation of like 3 outfits.
Yeah.
But that's fine. Like, you're not really like thinking about it. But they like really went in, especially like for Toru's outfits, and they're really cute. I particularly like the outfit she wore when they were at the beach for their like summer vacay. They were such cute outfits.
She looked like a child.
I basically have
I
like
mean, technically they are children. But
Yeah.
Isn't
I
she like
digress.
16?
That's a child.
Well, yes. I mean, I'm not gonna be looking
he
at a
thinks
6.
she looks like a 10-year-old.
Yeah, but she
Yeah.
looked like a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
But like that's like the whole point of her. Like
she's very young and
she's
innocent.
that
naive.
Yes,
No,
she's
I
that
know.
innocent character. Like
Yeah.
that's the whole point.
But yeah,
So-
I basically still had like all the same problems, especially with Toru, as I did in season 1. Like,
Oh yeah. Wait. So quickly, what did you say about season
so
1?
basically in season 1, I had said that I was kind of waiting for a moment for her to like stand up for herself, and be like, no, like that's not okay.
Girl's a
Like,
punching bag.
you know,
But she
and-
does do some things that aren't like that. Like in season 1, she goes after Kyo.
I mean, yeah,
she-
but that's not really
That's not
her standing up for herself.
Well, all right, yeah, I guess she does.
She
She
do-
stands up for others, not
I'm
herself.
not saying
Yes.
that she doesn't do stuff,
Yeah.
but and in this season too, like I so wish she would have like she was getting so close too. I was like, yes,
Yeah.
come on, just say your piece and move on, you know. So yeah, I'm still annoyed that she like hasn't done that. I'm like, I want so desperately for her to do something truly for herself, because I'm like,
She's selfless.
actually obnoxious.
How dare you be so selfless, you
She's too
fuck.
sweet for this world.
Like,
What are you, fucking Superman?
like I don't know, something about it. I just can't relate to it. It's so non-human.
Yeah.
Like
Maybe
that.
you're just non-human, Sage.
Maybe.
Maybe you can't just take yourself out of the equation.
Maybe, but I just was like kept waiting for that to happen. I will say I feel like the further delving into the Soma family in general, I really did enjoy. Like, I almost wish this wasn't a romance anime and this was just like a messy, like,
Just
family, like, political drama.
Yeah.
Because there's moments where this could so easily be a great drama. And then throughout the season, I noticed this, where they'll have great dramatic beats and then undermine it with a joke right afterwards.
Yeah.
And the tonal whiplash of that, I was like, why did we just have this
'Cause
incredibly
they,
like
have to lighten it up.
character
Yeah.
important moment, or like really romantic moment, or something where it's like, you know,
Especially the romantic moments. Like, somebody's got to come in and they got to break up that moment.
yeah, I'm
immediately.
like, just let it sit even for a second,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't be so annoyed with it. But they don't let anything. So like a part of me, I can't even take it seriously because it's not
But
taking itself.
I don't think you're
seriously.
supposed to.
Yeah, but also I do think
it's
that's
just
supposed to be
annoying because
comedic.
it is quality what they're presenting
Yeah.
in terms of the dramatic beats.
But I do feel like that a lot of times when it's interrupted by a joke, when it's not like a cutaway,
Right.
is that usually that's just based on the, because I feel like it's usually always a character that does it,
That's true.
and it's because that's just who he's been established as being. Like that they never take anything seriously when they're like in the presence of other people. I feel like that's like, because it's always usually that one person, maybe two, and it's like that's just
Right.
kind of how they handle those situations, is always making the joke.
Yeah, but like, I don't have to like that.
I mean, sure, but I'm saying it, but it's not like it's just like it doesn't. It feels like that is established as that character to do, and not just random cutaway.
No, I it's definitely not random, but I do think it's jarring. You know,
It's like it's
'Cause
definitely that
I-
person's deal of just
there-
being like they
there-
don't know how to handle it, so they
I'm
make a joke.
watching a scene and I'm like, ooh, yes, character development, let's go, right? Or like, you're progressing the relationship, let's go. And I get invested in that only to have the rug pulled from underneath me.
Yeah, like it's
And
romance, but it's not enough romance. It's drama, but it's not enough drama. Like like
It's
I
just
kind of
not
get what
strong enough
Yeah,
in
like I kind
general.
of get what
Yeah.
you're saying.
So that was
But
annoying.
at the same time, like, I like the comedy of it, so it doesn't bother me.
I do like some comedic aspects, but I kind of wish they balanced it a little better, because the comedy for me isn't even a problem. Because I think if this was a drama, you'd still have little hints of levity throughout anyway, because you can't just be like 100% serious the whole time, or everyone's going to be really
Depressed.
bored and depressed.
Yeah.
But I think it's just the way that they balance those elements sometimes did not work, you know? Where like some episodes were either mostly comedy with little droplets of drama, which was fine, right? Or you'd have these long-winded dramatic scenes one after the other, only to end it with a comedic beat, which did not make sense to me. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I'm like, just let the drama sit with the characters.
Yeah.
Sit with the viewer. Take it in. And then transition to the next scene and then bring in your comedic elements.
Yeah.
You know, not the next breath.
Yeah, I guess. I didn't really notice it. Like, it didn't bother me.
I
But I
not-
get what you're saying.
I noticed it more than like 5 times, which is actually why I even, because I was like, this weird feeling has happened quite a few times now. And then the more I noticed it, like the worse it felt, you know?
Because then it was just irking you.
It was because I was like, you
because
guys
now
are
it's, like,
you're
bothering you,
doing
yeah.
a good job. Why are you taking away your own good work? You know, it's like shooting themselves in the foot,
Yeah.
kind of a thing. But yeah, that's my general.
Picking up what you're putting down. I mean, I think you guys said most of it for general. There's not much that I can think to say. The only thing I can think is for what you said about how you don't really think that Toru like pushes the plot. I would say that I don't really think that that's true, but I think it's easier to kind of say it with spoilers.
I feel like she starts getting to the point that she is, but I feel like for a lot of it, it's more it's more that like her impact on other people is making them force the change more than she is actively doing it until the end.
That's exactly how she is put. Like, she's just such a good person.
Right, but that is not like, but it's I don't mean it. Like, I mean that her actively doing it versus passively.
I guess so, but there's also times like where she stands up for people.
Yes.
And like she pushes that like genuinely herself. So
yeah.
Like, I feel like she does a good balance of like actively and like
I think she definitely is
it.
better at doing it as it goes on.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's any other general thoughts I could think of. I mean, I think that's it. I think it's like a very fast watch. Like, it's 25 episodes, but I know you said that you thought that it was kind of dragging on, but to me, like, it doesn't.
You know
feel
what?
Like
you
it.
know what's funny is actually the first half drag.
But then
it took
the
me
rest
so
went
long to get
fast.
through that first half, and then I don't know if maybe it was just like post summer vacay that the episodes were maybe because we spent so much time at the one location of the beach house. I don't know what it was, but I felt like the first half was really slow. And then the second half, I felt like it was like lightning round.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God.
Right.
Because the passage of time between the first half
Yeah.
and the second half is like.
I think that's when they started to do the backstories. I think that's after the.
I feel like
the summer
a
house.
lot of everything after the summer house was like backstory episode, regular episode, backstory,
Yeah,
backstory.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of so interesting that maybe that's why it goes so fast.
Maybe.
Where I kind of think before that are like school episodes, so maybe that's what I can't remember specifically.
So you had the school episodes, but that was only I think for like the first 3 episodes, and then we
Okay.
go into the summer vacation, which is another 3 or 4 episodes, or maybe even more than that. But then
Is it really that many episodes there?
they spend I feel like at least 3 episodes at the summer vacation house.
Really?
Because we have the whole like getting there, and then there's the interaction with Toru and Yuki, then we get Toru and Kyo, fireworks, Akito, Isuzu,
Isuzu.
thank you. She's there, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's all at that location.
Should we go into spoilers?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we can go
Okay.
into spoilers.
Spoilers from here on out.
Yay.
I mean, we did 20 minutes. That's
I
Yeah.
will I
general.
will agree with what Colin said for when he accidentally watched episodes of season 2 and season 1.
What did he
That
say?
Isuzu is the best girl.
yeah.
I
do love
Which
her.
one is she?
She's the
She's
horse.
the horse.
Oh,
She has like the dark hair, super long,
she's kind
blunt
of an
bangs.
asshole.
She's an asshole, but I like
She
that.
is an asshole, but she has a great character design.
Yeah.
Her design is so good.
Yeah.
Like,
The disinterested long hair girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's her.
Yeah.
her design
No, I know,
is
but I
great.
mean, like that's like that, like the disinterested long hair girl aesthetic.
Yeah.
That a lot of
Yeah.
anime
Hell
have.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I just love her design. I think she just looks very striking.
Yeah.
And it's weird. I feel like
Like a horse.
a horse.
Yeah.
But no, like her,
they did a great job.
no, it's so funny that I feel like her character model is the only one that feels like it
Like
could
the
be from a
animal?
different
Oh,
show.
I thought you were gonna say like that because I think that they did like such a good job with like that you could really tell that that's. Like,
I feel like when she
her
turns into a
Zodiac.
horse, the eyes are the same, so it's like a quick correlation. Whereas in terms of like when we see the other animal transformations, the general design is like more simplified in general.
Yeah.
So like everything looks completely different, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. Where I feel like when she's the horse, the eyes are basically the same.
I know, but like in general, like I feel like when you look at each character's design, I feel like almost all of them, you look at them and you're like, could I, if never seeing this,
Could you guess which one
Yes.
each one is? Probably not.
exactly, but
Probably
like
not.
with her,
I think you
like,
could guess Momoji is a bunny just based off of his.
Energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Because he is like his.
Well,
He's the third, by the way. He's in love with Toru. He says it.
He's like a child.
Multiple times.
He's only a year younger than her, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh,
he
is he?
says multiple times that he's in love with her.
I always took that more as like a.
No. Like,
oh no,
he
I think she's
genuinely-
He's 2 years younger.
Yeah,
I never took that
Google
as
it.
like a romantic thing.
No, like he genuinely is, and he literally says like to Kyo, "You better get your ass in check, or I'm gonna take her from you."
Yeah, he does say that.
Don't remember that at all.
Like he is.
But also when
But
he
he
says
also
that, I was
says-
like, bro, you are not even in this competition. What are you talking about?
But he also,
I always took it as like more of like a
no, but he
brother sister thing.
He also
He was 15.
and she's how old?
In this season, she's probably like 17 at this point.
But like he also kind of backs out at the same time.
Toru's 16.
See, it's only 1 year.
Yeah, he's very non-committal.
because they're both in high school. So like,
I always thought he skipped grades. It's been a minute since season 1. I thought he was just like smart for a kid.
No,
I
I mean he's not stupid.
he gets a
but,
growth
like,
spurt in the next season.
Really? Wow. I almost
he's
watched.
one of
I
those
almost
characters.
watched just to season 3, but I was like, I'm not gonna watch season 3 and then not remember where the break between info is.
Yeah.
So while we're in spoilers, can we just bring up the fact that like
Haru's best boy.
season
We
2
already talked
was
about that in
like
non-spoiler.
was like, hey, I know in season 1 this was a 2-horse race, but you can forget about that other guy because Kyo is the only option.
Literally.
Yo, best
And
boy.
it's so funny because in
Option,
season
love
1,
interest.
I was like, yeah, Yuki all the way. Like, there's
Yeah.
no way Kyo is an
Yeah.
option.
Nah.
And then Yuki bows out himself.
Yuki is like,
Literally,
respectfully.
That's my mom. Like,
I was like, he's like, I think I was just looking for a
Yeah.
mother. I'm like, ew, get the fuck out of here with
okay,
that.
wait,
It's
okay,
nasty.
okay, wait. So I want to talk about.
We had a whole
yeah.
conversation about
So I want
that.
to talk about the mom zoning.
Mom zoning.
Yes, I want to talk about the whole mom zoning.
I should pull up my texts. I don't remember what I said.
Yeah. Okay, so you can read that because this is before I rewatched. So you can.
Oh, so this is from your like memory?
This is from my memory. This is us talking because he had just watched it because I hated the mom zoning.
It's just so
Like,
bizarre. And you know
yeah.
what's so funny though is because
I also wanted Yuki to win.
Well,
so-
actually, even before the mom zoning, because that was pretty late into season 2.
yeah, it's like one of the last episodes.
Yeah, I think it's in like the
Okay.
last 4 episodes. But
Yeah.
wait, before you
Yeah.
read the text, because I had actually noticed post beach the complete withdrawal of Yuki as an option because after the beach, like Kyo was constantly being like, "Oh, like why are you doing this? You don't normally do that," or like,
Yeah.
"Oh, are you upset?"
Like I know you so well. Yeah,
You know, like he was
on it.
He was
Yeah.
on it. He
Yeah.
was so
Yeah.
there.
He knew everything
Yeah,
that was wrong with her. Was
constantly.
there to help her.
And Yuki the whole time is just like, wow, she's so great.
Yeah.
She's so precious to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, then do,
Do
something.
something. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
participate.
Yeah.
Engage
You
with
wa-
her
you
in
wanna
any
try?
way.
Yeah.
So this text message chat started off with, "Oh shit, Yuki's out of the race! Fuck yeah!" Kyo stays winning, and then she
Kyo
just responded
stays
with
winning.
hashtag mom zoned.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's fine. She loves Kyo anyway. That was it. It doesn't matter. But so you were like, yeah. Personally, I don't see it as him being like, shit, I ain't winning. Well, you're like my mom anyways because because whatever. Hold on. No, you didn't, bro. Whatever. And I was like, no, I kind of see it. He even said he tried to change it and flirt like any other normal guy, but it wasn't right for him. And I was like, that's a good enough in-story reason for the change. Do I think it was just the manga pulling it out of his ass for Kyo to win? Probably, but I think it's an all-right path change. But who cares because Kyo wins, so whatever.
Yeah, because like I didn't like that. Like I think and when I originally watched it, I thought, the writer was just like, okay,
Eeny,
I want-
meeny,
yeah,
miny, mo.
I want Kyo to win, right? I'm gonna choose that for the story. Like I think the cat needs a win. Like
Right.
this whole sad, tragic story. Like I want that for this story. But at the same time, Yuki needs something too. How do I come up with something that like
Yeah, you did shit on the girl.
we haven't even gotten there. Like, how do I come up with something that won't upset the readers, but like she doesn't have to reject him. How about he bows out himself? Okay, what can I do here? And then mom zone, and then comes up with like
the
this
mom
whole thing.
zoning is horrendous to begin with.
I disagree.
But I also felt like they could have very naturally departed from him being interested and like pursuing Toru, even though he was barely pursuing her, but whatever, into him being interested in Tamachi, because I feel like that would
her.
be a
So-
good fit.
So,
But I disagree about the mom zone. I don't think it's that bad.
so
I get it.
Wait, so there is signs of the mom zoning. I noticed during this rewatch that there is earlier signs of the mom zoning, which during watching it the first time, I did not.
Yeah, because
Like,
during season 2,
I
I thought
noticed that-
he felt like he was out for me immediately.
I did like notice that I was like, she's gonna fucking big kill,
Right.
because obviously I was upset by it.
Well,
Because I
Yuki
wanted,
made himself not even.
I
but
know.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like when
but
I was watching
I-
season 2, I was like, he
I
doesn't feel like
thought-
he's trying anymore.
Yes.
Yes, that's what.
That's why it
took
didn't
as.
feel weird to me.
I took it as because he has such like an inferior complex. Like I took it as he kept seeing them like being together and being happy, that he was just like,
I'm gonna leave it be,
Yes.
not disturb anything.
Yeah, like,
if this is what she wants, she can take
Exactly.
the W on
That's-
that, and I'll
that's-
take the L.
yeah, like that's what I took it as. And then when the mom zone came out of nowhere, what I thought was nowhere, I was like, what the like, that's like the weirdest instead of what I thought it was just gonna be was him just like, you know, I just want her to be happy, so if Kyo's what makes her happy, then
Right.
which is kind of what normally happens when there's two options.
Right.
Like the mom zone, I was like, I've never heard of this option before. But there is like signs of it earlier, but there's one clear point that I was like, oh my god. Like,
With the Jello,
the Jello.
where she makes some Jello.
Yeah.
No,
Oh.
it's when Isuzu is running outside and Toru runs after her and she just turns around and grabs her. Yuki literally says that Isuzu and him
Are both looking for the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, it was there.
Yeah.
Because she is also she literally says in her little speech that she sees like Toru as a mom, that
Right.
she is a child like crying into like a mom's lap.
Arms,
and,
right.
Yeah, and then they have him talking and said that we were looking for the same thing. And that's episode, I don't know how many episodes, but it's
early. It's before
it's
the mom zoning for sure.
multiple episodes before it. And I was like, I don't know how that didn't.
I picked up on that too, and at
It
first
didn't occur
like,
to me.
My reaction to that, I was like, okay, that's a little weird because
But
you're
you would
supposed
never,
to be
you would never
interested in her.
expect a mom zoning. So like, you
So-
kind of
so-
just write it off.
So at first
Yeah.
I was like, okay, weird, but I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
because comfort,
You know, I am picking up
I
what
would
you were
also
putting
like
down.
to cry in her lap. I'll turn into a rat, so I can't really, but like,
But-
I get it.
But I wasn't anticipating just full on. Oh, she's like a mom.
Yeah.
I feel like
I
being able to
want her
turn
to
into a
be
small
my
animal would
mom.
make the.
But he'll be naked when he turns back.
Well, right, but he could stay as the rat as long as he wants.
No, I thought it was random.
It is random.
We went over this for
Just
season
get a blanket,
yeah.
put it over the rat that's big enough, and then when he transforms, the blanket will be over him. I feel like if I had the power to turn into a cat, and the girl I liked could then hold me in cat form, I don't think I'd be a human. That sounds like it would be the most comforting thing on the planet.
I guess. But again, it kind of matters which animal.
Well, sure, but like even the rat, I mean, I feel
horse.
like, well, yeah.
in the lap.
But like a rat, like again, you're small, so like it feels like you could just be like, you'd be like,
You
you
put 'em
have
in your
no,
pocket.
yeah, you have no worries in the world. You are being
But you're gonna
cradled
rip
by
the
this big
pocket when you
thing.
turn back.
Well, you take them out before that.
But you don't know when it's
Oh,
gonna
that's
happen.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's pretty beneficial. But regardless,
No, but there was totally like
yeah,
signs.
it
of
just when it happened, I wasn't like, that's weird. I'm like, yeah, all right, Sure.
No.
Like, I feel like the way he
No.
explains it,
I
the way he explains it to me, because I no longer felt like
to
he was.
Mike,
Yeah.
when he was explaining it to
me,
Mike.
specifically to me.
He turns to the camera.
Yeah.
Michael.
Like, because again, when I started watching season 2, I had the same vibe where I was like, this dude's not even trying anymore. I was
Yeah,
like,
after the beach,
Yeah.
like no effort.
and so like once he got to the part where he like starts talking about it, I was like, oh, you know what? Like, yeah, like because throughout the show so far in season 2, they've shown that he has a really shitty relationship with his mom, and Toru is actively just being a mother to everyone in general.
Yeah.
Like, not even need to be explicitly stated. Just that's just how she acts. She gives mom aura. So I'm
and
like,
then he keeps even like at the beach, he's staring at her like when she's like covering the kids with blankets and like stuff like that.
and so like when he starts going on the big speech, I'm like, you know what? Sure, like I get it. Like you tried to be like, no, I don't think this is how. Like that seems off. So like
I've never heard of mom zoning.
So like
before.
I did what any other boy would do.
Yeah.
Like I would flirt with her and be like whatever. But then he was like, that didn't feel right to me. And you know what? Like no, I think like she's just a mother figure that I always needed, and I couldn't recognize that until now.
But-
and to me, I'm like, all right.
The only thing
I also didn't care
is,
about him as an option, so
What's
that might help.
the friend name? Monabe? Is that his name?
Oh,
I think
the
so.
vice president.
Yeah.
The like he's
Right?
like kind of a dick, but kind of not a
Yeah.
dick.
Yeah.
The only thing I think that for the like first watch that I was just like, no, like fuck the mom zoning is like the writer kind of wrote too good of a line for like Monabe to say that made me be like, no, fuck this mom zoning. Monabe says something along the lines of like, are you sure? Because, you know, people have partners that are like their parents, like, all the time.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, true. Like, because you can comfort and take care of your partner. Like, there's no issue in that. So, because this whole time, you know, he has this inferior complex, it kind of seems like he was bowing out this whole time. He keeps watching them be together. Like, the same way Momiji is saying to Kyo, there's a couple times that Yuki also says to Kyo, like, get your shit together. Like, why are you upsetting her? Because everyone can see her feelings, like, for him. Like, it kind of just seems like that as well. So, like, I feel like that line from Monabe just, like, hits too much that the mom zoning didn't feel, like, right. But, again, during this, like, the rewatch, my feelings change, and I'm like, no, I can see this. Like, it was there, but I think
it wasn't out of the blue.
Yes, I think because I wanted it to be Yuki, I was kind of like blinded when I was watching.
I think it really helped that I didn't want it to be him.
Yeah,
so I'm
like you didn't.
Well,
all right,
matter.
sure.
I also wanted it originally to be
But you
Yuki,
can still see.
but throughout watching the season, I kept being more and more like, he's putting in literally zero effort.
Kyo's putting in. Kyo
and
feels like
Kyo
he's showing
is
up.
doing all of the legwork here.
Yeah.
So even if I would want Yuki to like be with her in the end, which now I don't,
Yeah.
but like even if that was like still what I would want, there's absolutely no chance in hell that's what would happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Unless the writer is bad and just went, anyway, it's
JK.
still happening.
It's still
Yeah.
Yuki.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
I think season 2 very clearly builds towards they
a
are what's
huge
right for each
divide.
other.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he gets her implicitly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even when he like doesn't like when he still says the wrong thing or whatever, it doesn't see what she like. It feels like he's picking up on that way better now.
Yeah.
And even not like he can tell that there is something going on.
Yeah.
And is there to help her regardless.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. To me, the mom zoning was like, I feel like to me it was explained well enough that I'm like, sure. But I think, again, it might have helped that I was already in Team Kyo.
Yeah, right.
So I was just like, this is a good enough reason for me.
He's like, he's just taking himself out of the competition. I don't got to worry about nothing.
It definitely helped with the rewatch because I already know like what happens. I was actually able to like enjoy the moments between Kyo and Toru. Like I was actually be like, that's cute, like that, because before, like when I originally watched it, I was like, fuck, I was Yuki. Pick Yuki. Like, you know, because it's just upsetting because I'm just like, that's the wrong boy.
But I feel like if you come out of season 2 thinking that Yuki has a chance, you're like actually delusional.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean?
No. When I was watching it, I knew it was not Yuki.
If you walk away from it after the whole mom zone thing, you
that's
are
sick.
delusional.
Yeah, that's fucking sick. No, like I knew it wasn't him, but like, you know, seeing all those moments, like I didn't enjoy them because I was just like, I don't want it to be him. But like after knowing everything that I know, then while watching this, I'm not rooting for Yuki because there's no point.
Yeah.
So like during the rewatch, I actually got to just be separated from it, so like I actually got to enjoy their cute moments, and I'm like, you know what, they are good for it. Like, it is cute.
So unrelated to the main trio, Toru's friend, the blonde one whose name I don't remember,
Arisa.
Yes. Why is she like so desperately in love with? Yeah,
I think that's his name.
Like they literally met twice,
and he is also in love with her.
I know.
I guess it kind of makes more sense for him because he's locked away. So like,
yeah, he doesn't interact with humans outside of like who's in the estate.
Sorry, which one?
Yeah, Kurano and Arisa,
the rooster?
yeah, and her friend.
Yes,
the blonde friend.
Yeah.
Because
also,
like,
mind you, I think he's what, 26.
Yeah, he says he's 26.
Yeah, that is that whole. We also had a moment where I was like, is this show trying to make me root for this?
It is trying to make you root.
And I was
for
like,
it.
okay.
And it does, I think, do a good job of trying to make. I
mean,
you
it sure
root
does,
for
but
it.
like, hey, that's.
But it's you have to keep reminding yourself, being like, he's 26.
I just felt
why
like
did they have to do this?
I kind of like I get why they couldn't have more interactions together.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
I didn't think he had to say he was in love with her.
The levels of desperation, I was like, this is too much. Run away.
I get her being like,
she's 16 and irrational. Yeah. That makes sense. Okay.
I get her being like, I miss him. I want to see him.
He's 26 and a fully developed adult.
I remember, having the delusions.
Right.
And just being like, imagining, being like, where is he? Why hasn't he come to,
right.
like whatever. But him telling Toru, like, I'm in love with, and this is the first time I've been in love since I became a human being. Like, I was like,
boy, bye.
What? I was like, you saw her twice.
Like, this is
like,
too
I guess
much.
you kind of get it because he's been locked away all this time, because he says, the bond was broken a couple, when he says it was like a couple years ago or something like that. But then if you think about it, he says that he was a little bit younger than Toru. And if you notice,
when the bond is broken?
Yeah, he's in a middle school uniform. So he has to be like
14. When
yeah.
That's not a couple years ago.
That's 12 years ago,
yeah,
my guy.
What?
Like,
because I was going to say, it couldn't. I also don't think it could be a couple years ago, because in those flashbacks, Akito looks way
tiny.
younger.
Yeah, tiny.
Like a little kid.
And keeps saying child. Like, I would do anything for that child to make the tears stop.
Yeah.
And
man, that's fucking what the fuck's it called? When you start liking your captive.
Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm syndrome, so hard. I felt so bad for him. I'm like, no dude, fucking punch that kid in the face. You're free. Leave.
Yeah,
like,
literally does. But
I would have decked that kid.
No, it literally has to be at least
10 years ago.
No, 12.
Yeah,
he's 20 because 14.
Oh yeah, because he's 26.
14 is the oldest.
Maybe he got held back,
and it maybe, and it could.
He's 20 years old in middle school.
And he did have the same voice, and he did look also like maybe.
Also rooting for Seahorse Doctor Man to end up with that girl.
Okay.
Oh my God! Right? The bookstore lady.
I don't like that.
Why not?
Because it's her
I will agree. I don't
like that plot line.
I don't like the backstory portion.
I wish they'd change that. Like, I like her as a person.
I like her.
That's fine.
The idea of them being together.
Yes.
But why did you include this backstory
of
your
horrible.
best friend?
Yes.
And you saw them having this happy life together, and then she gets her
yes.
memory wiped?
And then,
which also, how irresponsible. They wipe the friend's memory, but not hers. Like, she wasn't privy to all of this information.
She just forgot about it. And she's like, wow, you really did forget. And then it's like, I'm sorry, but you're a bad friend. Like, I know you've just been hopelessly in love with him all this time, but like, I just don't like it. I just don't like that plot line.
Well, I guess they did say the friend did get married to somebody else.
It's
Like,
not
she
good
moved
enough to
on,
be.
but
There's
I-
no loyalty. There's no loyalty.
No, once they were both like, they've both moved on, I'm like, fuck it, whatever, who cares?
But Hattori didn't move on. He wasn't with anybody. That was a lie.
No, but he's clearly moved on enough to be like, I'll start seeing her.
I guess.
So
but that's
they're
wrong
both,
of Hattori
they're all
to see
adults.
the friend
The-
because
the
his
sister
memory
moved
isn't.
on. I feel
his
like it's
memory
fine.
Isn't wiped. He knows all of that, so like he shouldn't see her. I don't know.
I think it's fine.
It's
been like a decade. It's whatever.
Has it been that long?
It's been a while. Maybe not a decade, but it has been a while.
I feel like it's been
years.
like at least a few years.
Yeah, it's been like
said
a
it had
few
been
years.
2
Oh, yeah.
years
Since they were together, her and him.
No, since the memory wipe. It had been 2 years.
Okay.
2 years since she had seen.
It's been 2 years. She already got married and has kids.
I don't think they have kids.
I thought she said that she had kids.
No, she's just married.
Oh.
Yeah.
Unless
I don't
maybe
know.
she's
Moved on.
currently pregnant, but I don't think she
I don't know.
has
I'm like, it
No, I don't
didn't
think she
bother
was
me.
pregnant.
I was like, I feel like it moved on enough. There was time to process emotions. Things had moved on.
I just feel like if I was the girl, the bookstore lady, like, since my memory wasn't wiped, I don't think I could, even if I was like still pining for them,
Yeah.
you know,
Loyalty.
But in my like, it would
Loyalty.
feel so wrong.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. Because
like the
that's
whole
your,
thing.
because you know, like
And the whole thing of like them being together, and she was like seeing
so-
how happy
and,
they were together.
And then she saw how distressed she was when like the eye thing like happened. Like, I just don't like that plot line.
Yeah,
I don't
feel
like it.
I feel like I would root for them to be together.
If her memory was wiped,
way harder,
and then like he walked into the bookstore or something.
Not
I
even
don't
that.
know.
I would root for them way harder if it was just a thing of like no friend, no previous relationship, and they just were acquainted with each other, and she was having this like unrequited love kind of a thing, and he was kind of like icing her out on purpose because he feels like he can't.
Yeah.
Like I would.
It just can't be her best friend. Like it's wrong.
I would be even fine if it was like fucking Joe Schmo down the street that was with him.
Yeah.
And she was jealous that her neighbor was with him.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Someone that she wasn't so closely tied to.
Like
I don't know. I mean,
Not a girl's girl.
Not a girl's
I was like,
girl.
I don't know. Maybe it's different because I've known someone that's done that. Like,
So
two,
they are also
Not
not,
a
a girl's
girl's
girl.
no, like the two friends, like that one was dating the guy, and when they broke up, and like 2 years had passed,
and they had a memory wipe. And
No,
then
not the memory, like, but they were like,
Right.
like a year,
As you
like a
do.
year or 2 years, something like that had passed, and they both were like talked, and she was like, "Look, I still like him, like the one that didn't date him. Like, is it okay?" And she was like, "I've moved on. Go ahead."
But that's different because they had that conversation.
But she can't have that conversation with
Because
her.
she had her memory wiped.
So then it doesn't
Not a
matter.
girl's girl.
It doesn't matter.
No, I think
it doesn't affect her.
It does matter because
She can't have that conversation.
Hattori is also not a girl's girl.
no, it's not even that she can't have the conversation. It's because she explicitly remembers what happened.
Like,
If
Yeah, I
her
know.
memory got wiped as well,
No, I know, but
then I wouldn't
but
care.
it's not like she can
if
go up
that
to her and be like,
didn't
"Hey, can I
happen,
date this
like,
guy?" 'Cause she doesn't remember
they
it. So
still would have been together. Like that's why it's like wrong. And like she knows that they would have still been together and happy. Like had this not like I don't know. Like it's I just.
But
don't,
like what I'm saying is, to
I
me,
just
it's
don't
a
like
moot
the
point.
plot line.
Like to me, it's a moot point. Like she can't have that conversation. It's been years. She's
I
married
know,
to someone
but
else.
You
I
brought
think
up-
she did it well.
You brought up the conversation.
No, I know, but
I'm
what I'm
not
saying is,
asking
like-
for that.
but, like-
I just want a different
I don't know, it doesn't-
way of
whatever.
them meeting. Like
Can
that's
can we talk about why Haru's best boy?
sure.
sure.
I mean, he is. So
Yeah.
Because every
Sorry.
backstory thing we got involved with Haru, man was doing everything for everyone.
Yes.
Helping out his horse girl best way he can.
Don't call her a horse girl. I know she is, but it's
not
horse.
the same
Yeah,
implication.
like a horse girl.
He
is,
helping
like,
out his horse
negative
girl.
horse
connotations.
space girl.
Yeah, helping out his horse girl, and
Girl
then
horse.
Yeah, his horse.
his horse.
She's just a horse.
Anyway, helping out the horse girl. And them like their relationship and everything and like what comes out of that.
He kisses her in the woods and Yuki just fucking drops his bag. He's just, like,
that whole
so
kiss
hard.
scene, and he's just standing in the background
He's
like
just like in awe. He's like, oh my god. He's like, I can't do that with
It's
my mom.
But I thought that was so funny. I was like,
Yeah.
you're having this scene, like this super passionate kiss,
Yeah.
and then Yuki
Yuki's
just in the background
he
of the
literally
frame.
drops the bag.
I'm
'cause
like,
he's
you guys
shocked.
couldn't like cut to a different frame where
No, but
we're
that
only
was the
seeing
best.
them.
Also, like
part.
canonically, as far as we're aware, the only two that have banged.
Yeah.
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 So Haru gets action.
Yeah.
Also, like they're all cousins, right?
So
It's like a distant, really related stuff, though.
So it's like they're like
Fifth cousins twice removed.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's
I
like
was like, I don't know
far,
how-
unless it's specifically stated
Right.
that they're so like Yuki and Kyo are cousins, like closer because
Like cousins.
because that's stated,
Right.
Like the two little kids that
brothers are
love each
stated-
other are not
yeah.
very related either.
Gotcha.
So like it's just like Kagura and Kyo are distant. Like it's because that whole estate,
Yeah, everyone
like,
is
that
a Soma.
whole neighbor, like that
Right. The
huge place.
compound, if
Yeah,
you will.
all of them
Yeah.
are Somas. So like,
Yeah, so I couldn't like. It was so funny throughout watching this,
you're
especially
like,
even
is-
in
are they all incest? Is everyone
not even
incest?
like are they incest, but I was like, is it okay to root for them?
Yeah.
Like this feels like
Yeah,
some
I
House of the
looked it up
Dragon type shit
I
where
love
like
when I was
Yeah.
you're
originally
showing
watching
me
it.
this like blooming relationship.
Unless it's
but like should I
specific-
feel
yeah.
happy for them?
Unless it's specifically stated their like relationship,
Right.
they're just like really distant.
They just
like,
happen to have the
relatives.
same last name kind of thing.
I mean,
but they are
techni-
technically related.
Yeah, so like technically there is some blood
It's like
there.
having family, but they like live in another country, and you
mean-
don't actually know them at all, and you don't share any real
Yeah,
genes.
basically.
I mean, you do share some genes, it's
But they're
just,
so
like,
far
real-
removed,
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, like I
just
think it's
really
only
far.
dangerous first
you're-
cousins, and then
No,
as-
I think it goes up to like third. Or
I thought no,
something.
because first cousins is illegal, second cousins isn't. So
First
I assume
cousins is legal in some states.
well, generally it's not. And so
Sweet
second cousins, I'm
home
pretty sure
Alabama.
is
If I
where
were-
it's like not really dangerous genetically. I think.
Yeah, after I think
Could it be
second
me?
cousins is genetically you should be okay.
Yeah.
Don't
But
know.
anyway.
because it gets so scrambled.
Yeah.
I'm gonna choose that they're fifth cousins removed.
Twice removed,
Yeah.
7 times.
I don't know.
Yeah, I also really like that the little boy was like constantly trying to be a better person throughout the show.
I
Where he's like, I
know.
don't get mad.
And then he was just like, I did it again. I lashed out.
Yeah.
It's like, God damn it.
But yeah, and Haru like getting Yuki out of the house with the dog, whose name I keep forgetting. Shigure, who's also an asshole. Shigure, the worst person apparently.
Yeah. I like TikToks that come up that it's like, am I the drama? I don't think that I'm the drama.
Nah, he's absolutely the
villain?
worst.
Yeah,
He is the
it's
villain.
Just, yeah. It's just Shigure.
Oh, dude, the amount of times I wanted to deck the god.
Yeah.
Akito?
So
Fuck
what did you
that
guys
kid.
think of the reveal?
That he's god?
No,
that he's a
Akito's
woman.
Oh. I don't.
I
It
don't
didn't
see
feel
why
like a
it
reveal to me.
matters.
I mean, it was like, hey, it doesn't matter.
They really, I mean, they ended it
Yeah.
on this.
I
like,
know,
they-
it's
they
this whole
put-
dramatic
Yeah.
ending scene of Akito's a woman.
He's just
Cut to
like,
credits,
"Did you
and
say
I was
girl.
and I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
That's how it ends.
Actually,
Like, they
throughout
wanted
the
to-
entire season, I was like, is Akito a guy?
The whole
Is
time,
Akito
like
a
I was
girl?
like,
I
A,
can't tell.
it didn't feel like a thing where I'm like, who cares? But also, I was like, oh, was Akito not? Was I not supposed to think Akito was a girl? I was like the whole
is
time,
there-
I'm like, yeah, it's a
is there,
girl.
like more, I guess, significant implications that Akito is a female. If that
I
makes sense?
assume that
Yes,
I assume
I-
it matters in like a Japanese culture
That's
frame.
what
That's
I
what-
think.
that's-
Because the head.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking. I was like, the only reason why I guess this would matter is that like it's
I
a
think
more
so.
patriarchal society, so they
Yeah.
would like the head would be a man.
The other thing I was thinking, and I don't know if this is even true, Well, I mean, maybe it wouldn't matter with the remake, because I haven't watched the original, but I would I mean, I know they changed some things, but I would kind of assume that it's like the same plot line, because it's like implied that like Akito has like had romance with some of them.
I feel like she was definitely making them all do shit.
It depends like how old they are. So like the older ones, yeah. But before you know that if she's a woman, you would think that it was gay. So
I guess that is true. Even though I felt like I was getting a woman vibe the whole time, I was also like, oh, this is very open for a gay relationship thing.
Yeah, so like maybe that made it like a bigger deal.
I guess.
I don't know if that's actually
I didn't even
true.
think about that, where I was like, oh yeah, I thought she was a woman, but then every time there was a scene where I was like, this feels vaguely sexual, I was
Yeah.
always like, huh, this is very gay for this show.
Yeah.
Not a bad thing, I'm just like, I wasn't expecting it.
I feel like I didn't even pick up on like the gay vibes, because I feel like a lot of times, especially in this kind of aesthetic of a show where you have like beautiful boys on screen, there's always going to be a little bit of gay baiting because you have the fangirls.
Yeah.
So I wasn't even like, oh, this is, tantalizing or whatever. I was
Yeah.
just like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Well, so when I first and I said this to Mike, when I first watched it, I thought that Akito was a woman. Like I didn't even know that Akito was supposed to be a man, and then they said at some point man or some,
Right.
they said something, and I was like, oh wait, Akito's a dude. I was like, oh my bad. Like
I think in season 1 I thought Akito was a man, and then throughout season 2 I don't think this is true, but I feel like the voice sounded different in some episodes.
parts, maybe.
Where I was like, sometimes I was objectively like, that's a woman's voice.
Yeah.
This is like the way a woman would speak, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like this feels like a female character, but then in other scenes I would be like, that could be a guy.
Yeah. I mean, but at the
Toss
same
up.
time, there's plenty of guys that are played by
Right.
women. So it's like, you can't
But
base
you know
it
when
off
you
of
can
that.
like distinguish
Yeah.
the like inflection that's
Yeah.
different.
No, for sure. And I mean, that's why I was like, oh, Akito's a woman.
Yeah.
And then when they were like I was like, oh, my bad. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Whoopsie.
Yeah, like, sorry. It's my bad, bro. Like, I don't know. And then when they went for like the reveal, I was just like, a woman. I was like, I knew that was a woman.
Actually,
like,
I think this is one, they're at the summer vacation house, and Akito, to be a prick, keeps like sending them to the estate
Yeah.
to like visit him or whatever. In those scenes, I actually kept being like, who's this other character? Who's this random woman we've never seen on screen before? I was getting really confused. And then I think after like the third time that had happened, I was like, oh,
It's
I'm just
Akito. My
stupid.
bad. Oh my God. No. Yeah. So like, I don't know if it was because like I also don't know what they sound like in Japanese.
The dub?
Yeah.
I mean the sub.
The sub. Yeah. And like maybe it was like maybe they sound more manly. Like and so it just wasn't a good reveal for dub. Like I don't know. And maybe that's the issue. Maybe we're too intuitive. Like, I don't know. Like, but I was just wondering what you guys thought of the reveal because, like, it wasn't much of a reveal to me because,
Yeah.
It didn't feel like that shocking, if that makes sense.
yeah. But I'm also like wondering if it's like because the head shouldn't be a
Right.
woman.
Yeah, it's
like,
probably
That,
something
that's
like
the
that.
other thing. I was like, maybe like the cultural implications are
Yeah.
lost on me
Yeah.
because I obviously don't live in Japan.
Yeah.
So like that could be it as well. So I just don't care. I'm like, sure, whatever.
Yeah, because like there's the whole thing that most religions and things of the
Right.
sort
God is a
is
man.
a man.
Yeah.
Exactly. So like it wouldn't.
So
be-
you,
yeah.
I guess in your mind, you automatically assume
Yeah.
God to be a man.
I can't wait for when Toru breaks all of them free and all of them just fucking start kicking the shit out of Akito. Like they all jump her and just like fucking start beating the shit out of her.
Toru's gonna break them free, and she's gonna roll up with like an AK-47.
It's gonna be like that scene that like shows up where it's like the guys beating up the computer, you know, where it's like slow mo and they have the bat and they're just like beating it, and like the guy goes back and starts hitting it again. You know what I'm talking about? Like that scene. It's gonna be but like all of them, and it's just gonna be Akito just beating the shit out of them. And then like they're gonna start walking away, and then Kyo's gonna turn back and run, start kicking the shit out of her again. Anyway,
I don't know.
Final thoughts if you guys don't have.
Wait.
Unless you have specific something else to bring up.
What'd you guys think of Kagura? Her conversation with Kyo.
Oh, I didn't really care about her.
I also didn't really care about her. But
so I was like, whatever.
But I was like, I guess that's nice.
She's kind of a dick.
Actually, that's another one of those scenes where I was actually enjoying what was going on screen, and then they hard cut it with a joke. And I was like...
What joke?
I don't think there was a joke. She does kind of hard stop it where she's just like... I think he says like...
Maybe not a joke, but it was a very abrupt ending.
She says she's like hungry, so she needs to leave.
Oh, yeah. She's like...
She does kind of abruptly...
She's like, oh, I'm so hungry. Time to go get a snack.
Yeah.
I feel like because she just wants to bail on the situation.
I think he says like
yes,
she doesn't need to apologize or something like that.
It was
or
just
he forgives her. Something of the source, and she says, okay, like I'm going to go then.
Yeah.
Like I'm
But
hungry.
it was just... It was one of those things where I felt like...
Well,
the writing was shooting itself in the foot.
Yeah, the reason I ask is because I've seen people say that they still don't believe that she actually does love him. So I was wondering if you guys do believe her or not.
I guess I never cared to begin with, so I don't have any
I
opinion.
was like, I don't know. I don't think I ever cared if she did or not because he belongs to Toru.
I liked Kagura.
I like their backstory. Also, I will say I do think their all the like kid designs, character models are really good.
Yeah.
Really good translation. Like you can obviously with the bright hair, but you know what I mean. Like you can pick up who's who right away.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if I ever had a care that she did or didn't. And then after the apology or whatnot, or like kind of apology, I was like, sure,
I'm gonna
man.
be honest.
Like I feel like he's grown past you anyway.
I high key forgot about her completely from season 1.
I also kind of did, yeah.
So when she showed up in season 2, I was like, oh yeah, it's that bitch again.
Well, I just like I feel bad for her.
It just felt like he already moved on, so it wasn't.
Yeah.
Well, he had, and like she knows that, and then she like kind of knows that she has to have this conversation because that's like another of like Toru kind of passively pushing because she sees this and like she feels this guilt because when Kyo transforms in front of her,
she ran away.
She runs away, and she was scared, and she sees, you know, Toru run after him, and that's not what she could do, and that she feels, you know, this disgust towards it. But at the same time, like later in the season, there's multiple times that Zodiac spirits and like Akito have talked about this disgust that they feel towards Kyo. So I almost wonder if like it's like another one of those things that like she can't even control that she feels that way.
I think that's what the implication was.
Yeah,
like,
so like I feel bad for her that she feels
she's in love with him, but there is that barrier that she can never move past,
and
regardless
so she feels like
if
this
she cares or not.
Yeah, so she feels this horrible guilt that she reacted that way, and that she, you know, was pitying him and like doing this, and she was always looking down upon him, and she was like, well, if I can fall in love with him, like I'm a good person, like I'm a better person, because like that's such a horrible, and that's what she's saying, like is that such a horrible thing to think and do.
Yes,
but it's
sure is.
Yeah, like but it's also like kind of not her fault because she's possessed by a Zodiac
she doesn't
spirit.
know how to move past it otherwise.
And then so for people to like not believe her that she actually does love it, like I feel bad for her. So then when she's in the house, so like after she's crying and like she doesn't want to talk to her mom, and she has like her little monologue that she says to herself, and like how she'll always have that moment with Kyo where I think, you know, he's holding her. I was like, it's a sweet moment. You guys didn't even fucking care.
I think she does really actually love him.
I think,
but I don't think she's in love with him. I don't think she can be, if that makes sense. Like she cares about him deeply and wants to see him happy, but that like
the barrier
inclination
Yeah.
of like what he is and like the wall that brings between them, I think that is stopping her from like
I mean, I also
committing,
think
if that
she's
makes sense.
so young that she just might not know.
That's also possible.
Yeah, like it's a very like innocent kind of love.
Yeah, frivolous
So,
almost.
Yeah, so I do believe her when she says that she's in love with him, but she just might not know what the
In that
depths
like
of that
naive
is.
version
Exactly.
of being in love. I
Yes.
could see that too.
So,
But that's why I'm saying like I think she does love him, but I don't think she's in love with him.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of. I really liked. Is his name IMA? Right?
The brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, IMA.
He stepped up.
Yeah.
There for Yuki.
Oh, also, I meant to bring this up when we were talking about the mom zoning situation.
Yeah, fuck his mom.
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, but like, don't they have that little scene together where like she signs his phone contract and she's like, "Oh, don't let the phone distract you," and he's like, "Oh, that's never happened before." Where she like said something a mom would actually say to their child.
Yeah.
Does that happen pre or post mom zone? Because I
Post mom zone.
Okay.
I think it happens after IMA also is like, get the fuck out of here, fuck you.
Yeah.
Oh,
And-
that's
and-
definitely
yeah,
after.
yeah, so
After the parent teacher
Yeah, yeah.
conference for sure.
Yeah.
So
Post.
But I for some reason in my brain I was remembering as before. So I was like, but they were already mending their relationship in however small a way.
Yeah.
So that's why it also felt weird because I was like,
You don't need the second mom.
what?
Yeah. No. After.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Is there anything major we're not covering?
I don't think so.
Kyo wins. Best boy
Yeah.
Kyo.
I think
Do
he's
Haru
the best
and
option for her for sure.
yeah, do Haru and what's her face make up in this season?
No.
Okay.
Well, they have like moments,
Yeah.
but I don't think they get back together.
Okay.
Yeah.
The horse?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
It's
just have a
usually-
smooch and they're like, all right.
And he like holds her while she's sleeping, and then she's just like, "Nobody touched me,"
Yeah.
and she was just.
I
like-
know I fell asleep sitting up.
Yeah. But yeah, because she keeps denying it, and
Yeah.
she's like, "How do you even know anything
Wait,
about it?" And
why did they
Toru's
break
like,
up?
She didn't
She's
want
protecting
Yeah.
him because they're not allowed to be together.
Oh, okay.
because
Because that's
you
the
know,
whole reason Akito threw her out of the window.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. I was like, damn, this man's just committing a murder.
I mean, yeah.
Like,
All right. So, final thoughts.
yeah.
Oh, and I don't like Machi. Don't like her. I don't like her.
Which
Okay,
one's
Machi over
That's-
Mimi? Or Mimi over Machi?
I don't like any of them.
Which one's
Write
what?
a new, better character.
the student council members.
That's the.
Oh, I think that the girl that he falls for is fine.
I like Machi.
Yeah, I like her. I think
She's
it's-
a less good version
Maybe
of.
if they had more time or something. Like, I know that's not the focus, but like, I don't know.
I think she's a not
Even-
as fun version of the
even
Waves girl.
On the
love
rewatch.
Waves girl.
Same.
The entire
Yes.
time
Oh!
during the play.
Yes,
the play.
the Cinderella play was
Yes.
actually so funny.
Cinderella-ish.
Cinderella-ish
Yeah.
was
Because
fantastic.
even on the rewatch,
The narrator
'cause
was hilarious.
obviously like the first time, you know, I wanted Yuki to win, so like
She's
obviously
had food the entire
I know. It's just like, why is she always eating? Like, I would not.
Queen.
I would not like. And she's trying to get with Kyo's dad. I would not
Queen.
like her. But even during the rewatch, I still didn't like her. And I'm like, all right.
All right.
And even during a rewatch, I don't like her. I just don't like her. I'm
No,
just
it's
not for
best
it.
girl is the Waves girl.
Yeah.
She's a close second.
2.
The horse.
Okay. No, Waves girl. Waves girl all the way. She's trying to bang that fucking Kyo's dad, and she knows what she wants.
Yeah.
Every time
Okay,
they're
but
like
she's
on screen
also
together, Kyo's like,
underage.
"What's going on here?"
Yeah.
She's also underage,
Yes.
True.
and he is an adult.
Yes.
I guess he's not entertaining it, so that's a
No.
good thing.
Yeah. He's like, what are you talking
Yeah.
about? He's like, why would
But
you
she's
say
like,
such a ridiculous
but she's
thing?
like, he'll be mine.
Yeah.
Anyway, final thoughts for me, I guess. I still had fun, and I think it's genuinely really funny at times. The development between Kyo and Toru is, I think, really done really well. It feels very like a nice progression, and I think that like it's nice seeing her like finally like take more of a charge in the bigger stakes, like standing up to Akito, and like that whole thing. And I'm very interested to see how she like. I assume she's gonna try to like make Akito not miserable and fix everything that way. But God, I'd be so much happier if she's like, break the chains anyway, fuck you, bye, and then just leaves.
No, she signs him up for therapy.
Yeah, I mean probably. Yeah, I think
gets him a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Toru actually becomes a therapist. That's the
to get paid for it now.
Yeah,
She just starts charging all of them that make her do it for free. Like at the end of their conversation, she's like, "Here's the bill."
Here's the bill.
And they're like, "What?" And
She's like, I gave you a discount.
Yeah. Family discount, because I'm married to Kyo. And yeah, I think that that relationship goes really well. I think all the backstories are really interesting. And so mumuch trauma. This family's fucked. None of them are ever going to be okay. Yeah, I don't know. I had a pretty fun time. It does feel long though at times, where I'm just like, okay, fucking, let's go 25 episodes, please. Where's that? Well, I'm not close to 20 yet. But I did enjoy myself, and when I finished it, I was like, I would just jump right into season 3 right now, but I only didn't because I was like, I'm gonna start mixing plots.
Right, it's hard to differentiate.
But when I finished it, I was like, I could jump into it right now. It also helps that it's shorter. But yeah, I will give it the same thing I gave season 1, which I'll give it another 8. I think I enjoy myself quite a lot with it. Even if I hate some people, but I hate them in a way that they're written to be hated. So I think that's just, done purposefully. And I can't wait for Toru to just fucking jump Akito in the street and curb stomp her. Yeah, so and I would recommend it. So 8, recommend.
Yeah, I would agree. I think I still kind of had the same problems with this viewing experience as I did with season 1. And I will say the very jarring, like, heavy dramatic scene with ending on a comedic note really just threw me for a loop. It kind of, like, took me out of it, actually. And that happened several times where I was just like, why are you making it actively worse? I think I'm still waiting for Toru to snap. I just need her to, like...
You're going to wait a long time.
I don't even care if it's by herself. Like, have a good scream into the woods or something. Just something, I
don't think she's that person.
No, absolutely
I
not.
think she literally doesn't have a straw that can break her.
But
I think she just could keep piling stuff on. She's fucking Atlas, just
like,
carrying the world on her back.
I am waiting for the straw that breaks the camel's back.
Never.
Just because I feel like her character hasn't really changed in any way from
she's just getting stronger.
Season 1 to
season
more. 2. You know what I mean?
By the end of it, she'll literally just be in like the Atlas pose of
seriously
holding the Soma family together.
I feel like the second half was really enjoyable, where the first half was a bit of a slog for me. I'll give it the same thing I gave it for season 1, which is an 8 again. I would recommend it. I don't think it's bad by any means. I just think this is not catered to me personally, which is not their fault. But, like, I just cannot invest myself into it because I'm like, 90% of the people I don't care about. Like, I don't want anyone to succeed. Everyone fail.
Everyone fail.
Oh
But, yeah, just because I personally am not, like, hyper invested into the characters, it doesn't mean it's bad. I think the show looks great. Kind of boring music, but that's whatever. But yeah, I'd give it an 8. I would say watch it. I think people who aren't me will really like it.
Okay. Well, obviously, I
Kat
enjoy
hates
it.
the show.
Yeah, I hated it. This is Handshakers 2.0. You guys just had to watch this awful garbage. No. I enjoy it a lot. That's why I recommended it. So obviously, I recommend it. I think they do a good job of exploiting everybody's trauma dumping on you, making you feel sad. I think I didn't see what you said. Like, I guess, like, especially with, like, the Kagura example, like, I get what you're saying about how they, like, kind of hard stop the moment. And I think that, you know, the moment could have hit harder had she not been, like, all right.
So frivolously threw away.
But I do think that at the same time, that is very Kagura. So, like, I'm wondering if these moments, because, like, that's the only one that, you know, we have a prime example of. I'm wondering if, like, most of these examples, because, like you said, like, you don't care about most of the characters. I care about almost all of them. I wonder if they're, like, on par with the character. So to me, like, none of it stuck out.
It doesn't read as weird.
Yeah. So, like, none of it stuck out that it's like, yeah, if they didn't do those moments, like, that moment could have hit harder. And, like, obviously it wouldn't stick out to me. But they also didn't stick out to me because it was in character for them.
I
think
that's fair.
Both of you, like, didn't care about Kagura.
Well,
but, like, I like Kagura.
Well, the thing is like, when they were having the dramatic beats, that was roping me in.
Yeah.
And I was like,
and then it's just like,
something I can, you know, get invested in.
Yeah.
And want to see the progression of.
Mm-hmm. But, like, I felt like it was important for Kagura to do that because it's almost to take Kyo out of it, just for her to be like, okay, I'm leaving, and then for her to turn around and just, like, scream at him, like, I'm in love with you, like, believe me, please believe me. Like, it's almost like it's supposed to take you out of it. So, like, obviously I'd need more examples to be like, is this the writing, or is it,
you know what? If I rewatch it, which I won't,
me,
I will
like,
timestamp that shit for you.
Or if you just randomly think of,
if
like,
I think of something, I'll let you know.
Yeah, you don't need a timestamp, but, like, if you just think of, like...
Yeah.
I was going to say, what I assume is that most of the time, Dog Boy and Snake Boy usually will end a dramatic moment with a joke, because that's just their character.
Or, like, they'll... like flirting,
lesson, they'll flirt,
like,
or lesson,
which
like
I
something.
do agree with, like a flirting moment, like could have.
Like none of them can take a serious moment.
Yeah, like so the ribbon moment in Ayame's shop where, like, Yuki's putting, I think he puts the ribbon on, or he's, like, complimenting her while she's in the outfit, like that. I felt like was making me blush, like Yuki, like whatever he was doing or, like, saying to her, like, just compliment, and Ayame, like, ruined.
I don't know
the
if
moment.
It's just me, but I know this is supposed to be the wrap up.
Yeah,
It's
but
like you're the one that wants to leave quicker than
none of the
else.
romantic moments for me, like, really hit at all.
Not most of them, but that one specific, and it's probably because I like Yuki, like it's because I wanted it to be Yuki, and that was still at the beginning, like where he had he was trying,
where he was putting an effort.
That was effort right there. And
complimenting her.
I don't remember what it was. Like, I mean, but he wasn't doing that later. I mean, I guess he was.
But no, he was being very, like, gentle with her, and, you know,
it was
like,
cute. It was a really cute moment. She's, like, dressed. It was cute.
Some
Whatever
level of affection was implied.
And had he not, like, I know that's his character, so, like, that's the point. Like, so that's another one that's very in character. So, like, that's what he's supposed to do.
I just want them to just hold, you know, like, let it sink in, feel the weight of the moment, then move on. Yeah, not just up, it's done.
Yep. But anyways, wrapping up. I think they do a good job of explaining everything. I do have problems with, like, the plot. I'd like it to go in different ways. Like
Yuki not losing?
No, that's fine. I don't care about that. Like, Hattori not fucking being with the teacher, like, them writing that a different way and it not being, like, the best friend. Yeah. Like, certain things like that. But, like, they're little quarrels. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, the whole story is really good, and I really enjoy it. So, could things be different? Yeah. But does it bother me enough to be like, fuck this show? No. So, I obviously recommend it. I don't remember what I actually rated it, but
9.
Oh, okay.
You gave season 1 a 9.
Yeah, I was gonna rate it a 9. I was just gonna say that I rated it a 9, and then I was gonna
all of us the same.
Check what I did to see if I was gonna change it on Mal, but that's what I would do. All right, that's it.
Cool. With that, here's the group rating. And it is now my pick
Yeah.
for the next anime club. We are going to do Carole Tuesday.
What's that?
It is a 24 episode show on Netflix, made by Shinichiro Watanabe, the guy that made Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo and a billion other things that everybody loves. And it is about two girls on Mars that are trying to make music in an age where AI generated music or like enhanced music is the norm, and they are just trying to be themselves.
Oh,
and
so
make
our
music.
distant future.
Yeah, literally.
Distant? Yeah, so distant.
Not even.
Near
future.
Near future. Except on
Horrifying.
Mars.
Horrifying.
And it is just about these two like wayward girls trying to find themselves with each other and in the music industry. And it covers a large variety of genres by many different characters. I think almost all the songs slap.
Are they all originals?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Every song is an original. Again, cover a gambit of genres. For the most part, Carole Tuesday are mostly like a folky-ish vibe. And then there's like one dude that does like dubstep, one dude that does like rap, one person that does like pop, metal. Like there's a bunch of different people, all original. And they mostly all go really hard. The animation is really good. And it is a pretty feel-good story. It is one of my 10s.
So you cried?
Yes. So will that hold up this time? I don't know.
Will you change it if you don't cry?
I mean, that's not the only factor. It is
That's
just,
the only criteria.
it is just a big one. But I don't know. So I'm interested to rewatch it because I watched it when originally it came out. So
Which is when?
I think that was like 2019. It came out, in 2019. So that's when I originally watched it. So it's been a good few years, 5 years. And Anthony will also be joining us for that episode.
Yay.
Which also means I have to set up a fourth mic. I haven't had to do that in a while. But yeah, so 24 episodes, Netflix. You have 5 weeks to watch that. So get on it. I think you guys will probably hopefully like it. And yeah. So
It's only taken me, I don't know, when did you recommend this to me?
when you started watching anime. So when did we start this show?
3 years
No,
ago.
it was before that.
Probably. Well, no, you had to.
I started watching anime like
A year prior?
4.5 years ago.
Then yeah, around then.
So probably when
2019,
you
probably when the show was coming out.
You watched
The
it.
show
Probably when the show
probably ended, and Mike was like, "Hey, you should watch this show."
literally.
You'll like
Watch
it.
this.
Watch it. Yeah. So I would be very surprised if you did not like this show.
I'm gonna hate it.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, so thanks for watching this week's episode of the Vaguely Anime Podcast. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, leave a review, follow, check out Kat at Kat the Moonstar on Twitch. And we will see you guys next week for whatever it is we talk about.
Bye.
So, yeah.